What up, though? This is your boy Mike B, host of Wrestling from the 313, and we got another great live stream going on. If you are watching, we are on YouTube, we are on Facebook, and we are on Twitch. I got the homies with me. I got Samp representing the Samp and Chance podcast. I got Joe Monroe from the Joe Monroe Show representing WSN, as well as Professor Bear, host of the Bear Thoughts podcast, as well as the co-CEO of WSN. And before we start talking about wrestling and all that, I just want to give a couple of announcements. First of all, want to say that Wrestling from the 313 is now 2 years old. We hit the 2-year mark. Thank you. Hit the 2-year mark last Friday, and I just want to say it's just been one hell of a ride, just doing this whole wrestling thing, just meeting new people, just doing different type of content, and it's just been great. And I can hope that it continues 2+ more years. So, you know, anybody that's been riding with Wrestling from the 313, thank you. Another announcement, our last episode, the WrestleMania recap that I did with Samp and Professor Bear, that became the most viewed live streaming of Wrestling from the 313. So I got to thank Professor Bear and Samp for that. You know, I know it was WrestleMania weekend, and, you know, everybody want to chill and relax before so I just appreciate y'all taking the time out and just, you know, talking wrestling and stuff like that. We hit 5,000 subscribers on YouTube, so I'm happy about that. Actually, right now, I think we over 5,100. So, you know, we still growing, and we on the road to 10K. 2 million views. We over 2 million views now on the YouTube channel. So I'm happy about that. But the biggest thing that I'm happy about, and you know, this was a surprise to me when I got asked, but now I'm a member of the Wrestling Society Network. So I'll be with Joe, Professor Bear. Hopefully we get Samp on there soon. You know, he's always on here showing us love and everything, talking wrestling. So I'm just excited about this next journey with this whole with wrestling and everything. And I'm just looking forward to doing big things with you guys and ready to make some history.
Well, not to interrupt, but I have to say, this is also the start. This is your premiere episode on Spotify.
Yeah,
because this is the first show, and I'm thankful and glad that you're a part of the team. Sat, we love you too. That's why we rock with you. Man, we've been growing, and honestly, it started with you, Mike. Honestly, and a lot of people don't know this story, but the first time you allowed me to grace your show, we talked, had a great time, and then afterwards, you were the one that introduced me to Joe.
Yeah.
And, there you go. And we just keep growing and growing, and hell, we feel like a family, and Mike, y'all are family. So
blessed, absolutely. And not to sound preachy or anything, but I strongly believe when the green light is given, I will join you guys.
Definitely.
This is what I always say. It's always about patience and faith and hard work, right? And this is what this room right here, right now, we all, we all work hard. Yeah. I don't care what anybody says. We work hard in our day-to-day. We work hard. Yeah, you too, Mr. Monroe. You too, absolutely. You know what? Yeah. Before we get too sappy and shit, I don't want to be a Paul Heyman crying guy. But, you guys are amazing. Thank you. And I got to be your favorite Canadian. I don't know how many more Canadians you guys know, right? So,
Brett was my number one. But you slowly took that place because he won't Goldberg. But
there you go. But yeah, no, it's been a blast. I love this. I rush home to come and do this. This is my favorite part. You know, I love doing what we do on our own, but this is just something different, man. This is like, boys, you know, without the beers, just this is amazing. This is great. This is effing awesome.
Yeah. And that was one of the reasons why when I would do my live streamings and I would do like the roundtable, I brought Samp. A lot of people don't know, like I went through a period where I was just kind of like I was putting content out, but I wasn't doing no episodes. And I just remember being at home one day and Samp called me and was just like, hey, you got to get back in the groove, man. You done came too far to, you know what I'm saying? And he just basically told me to get back into it. And that's why I was, you know, it put that pep in my step. And that's one of the reasons why, and I never told anybody this, and that's why I kind of brought him together with us to do these roundtables, because he knows his wrestling too. So, you know, I'm glad, you know, the roundtable is back again, you know what I'm saying? And we get to talk some wrestling, and let's get it.
Let's get it. Let's get it. What do you got on the agenda?
Yeah.
All right. So the first topic we're gonna talk about, and this is right after WrestleMania, John Cena winning the 17th championship, beating Cody Rhodes. And you know, the first thing that came out was John Cena's the GOAT. So we're gonna go around. I'm gonna start first. The question is John Cena the GOAT? If not, does he deserve to be in the conversation? Me personally, I don't think he's the GOAT, but I definitely think that he deserves to be in the conversation. He's been like this era's Hulk Hogan. You know what I'm saying? I know people.
Let's not get Bear started already.
I promise I'll be good. I'll be good.
But without all the other stuff, John Cena has been that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's won multiple world titles. John Cena's basically won every title in WWE except for the Intercontinental title. He took the United States title. He elevated the U.S. title. Not just that, he's beaten the top stars: Edge, Randy Orton, Triple H, Batista, JBL, Big Show, Roman Reigns before he was the head of the table. Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar. He's done it all, not including the stuff he's done outside of wrestling, the stuff for the kids, the Make-A-Wish, the movies. He did everything except have his own cartoon like Hulk Hogan.
Well,
So
I'm out.
No, they had the cartoon, the WWE Network. Remember, they had the.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
That's what it was.
Camp
WWE.
Camp WWE.
He was the main character. That is right. He may not have voiced them, but he was the. Yep, I remember that.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So I think that he deserves to be in the conversation. I don't necessarily think he's the GOAT. So Joe, since you back, I'm gonna let you go ahead and start and give your thoughts.
Oh boy. I mean, listen, I was that kid in middle school who had the "You Can't See Me" wristbands on around with the Hustle, Loyalty, and Respect shirt and the Chain Gang chain. Don't ask. But it was a phase, okay? It's like a Vanilla Ice phase. Leave me alone. But you know what? I have to say, I got to give credit where credit's due. I wouldn't say he is the GOAT, but he is definitely one of the GOATs in professional wrestling. Given not only his now shattering, thank the sweet Lord above, the 16-time record that Flair holds, even though if you talk to Flair and other people, it's like 24, but WWE's counts 16. He's now seen as a 17-time world champ. So he's beaten that record. He's won. Has he won multiple Royal Rumbles or just one?
Yeah, he's won 2.
Okay, that's what I thought. He's won multiple. Not many people have done that. And just let's look at his character development. I mean, going from the prototype back in the Independence, going into OVW, to the ruthless aggression promo that about got him canned, then the Doctor of Thugonomics, then the John Cena that we all know and love today. So John Cena is probably a great example of how not only how a professional wrestler can be wrong, but also where you can end up being if you keep at it. Now, my answer, that was probably a long explanation, but my answer is yes, he's one of the GOATs, hands down.
I agree. Sam, what you think?
Randy Orton, Dave Bautista, Brock Lesnar, Shelton Benjamin, let's throw him in there as well. John Cena. That was the class that came out right after the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
We went into the dead era of wrestling for about 5 to 7 years there. It was entertaining because we're wrestling fans. We still watched it. But their numbers dropped, everything dropped, and who carried the company? Of all the guys that I just mentioned, it was John Cena. You look at Hulk Hogan's reign as top man. Not to make anyone angry, I'm sorry, but it was no more than 4 to 5 years, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You look at what The Rock and Austin did, which was amazing, but they had so much backing. That, in a way, is our golden era of wrestling, if you look at it. There were so many guys that could have been top guy in that group alone of the Attitude Era. So it was, amazing that you had those two guys. But what were they? 2, 3, 4-year runs tops? John Cena carried the company on his back for 10 to 15 years easily. 12 solid years with 3 years with the diminishing. Handed it over to Seth Rollins and what we see today. Right? So in my opinion, I don't believe there's just one GOAT. There's only one GOAT in all the sport, and that's Muhammad Ali. Only because what he did outside of boxing, transcending history, just what he did. Anyways, that's the only true GOAT of sports, in my opinion. But in all the other sports, I feel every generation has its own GOAT. The Hogan's generation, people will say Hogan. And this era, this is their GOAT, so he is the GOAT of that generation. You can't touch it.
Yeah.
His work rate, his in-ring work, the man is eccentric. Maybe he has some OCD in his personal life, but you cannot take away what he did. He kept wrestling afloat so we could have it now.
Yeah.
And I don't care what anybody says. There's no nepo attached to him. He was just a guy.
Yeah.
Right? Randy Orton, in my opinion, was the Shawn Michaels of that generation. His timing, his crispness, just the way he moves even to this day. So that's just the way I see it.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Professor Bear, what's your thoughts?
I think a lot of people are going to find this kind of ironic because anybody who knows me knows I'm a Ric Flair guy. I think it starts with Flair. Even though I hate this guy, I always put him number 2 was Hulk Hogan. But I have to say John Cena has did so much in his time that breaking the record was almost the ultimate. Hey, you can say what you want. You like him, you dislike him. You liked him better when he was Thugonomics. You liked him better when he was in OVW as the Prodigy. I mean,
Prototype.
Thank you. But like all of us have said, you can lay out everything that John Cena has did for the business, for outside of the business, for he is the most asked for Make-A-Wish Foundation person ever.
Mm-hmm.
And that's anybody, any sports, anything. So that says a lot. Then for the same person who, when he had a feud with The Rock, telling him that he left them wrestling, it wasn't a big thing and all that, what did he do? He turned around, did the same thing, but and I hate to truthfully admit this, but he did it better because look at what Cena is doing now. Cena took a couple of months off when the movie strike, writers went on strike. He came back to wrestling. did his thing for 3 months, on the way, disappeared, and comes back and said this is his final year. And where everybody thought, okay, we're going to get the standard John Cena, blah, blah, blah. What does he do? He changes the game on us to go heel. And not just heel. He could have easily phoned it in and did his thugonomic skit, but no, he didn't. He came up with something fresh where he shows why he is one of the top talkers in the business ever. So the thing is, for me, his whole body of work, from who he's wrestled to outside of wrestling to his time given to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, he is definitely one of the GOATs. Now, the argument can be wherever you put people, that's always going to be an argument. But the argument cannot be he is not one of them.
I agree.
You know, I mean, to talk about his professionalism very quickly, we didn't really talk about WrestleMania. We never got together for night 2, right? So, you know, very, very quickly, I just, here's what I take away from that match. It was shit finish, right? The opening match and the last match bookended each other for shit finishes.
Yeah,
right. That's the accomplishment of WrestleMania, in my opinion. Okay. Anyways, John Cena coming out to no color, just black and white. Right. John Cena, his move set changed. He changed his move set up, and the more he's embracing this heel, his promos are getting better and better now.
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing it more, right? So, but my biggest takeaway from WrestleMania was how much detail he put into his move set to change it. Very methodical, very slow, very, you know, like it's just the psychology that he used there. Phenomenal. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah.
That's what I said too when we were watching it live. But we want to talk about movies. Ricky Stenicki. That's all I got to say. Which, by the way, you can watch on the WGN app.
I just ended, of course, you know, him winning the world championships and stuff. I think for me, I remember him more when he was the U.S. champion and he used to do the U.S. Open challenges. And those matches were actually good. And he actually brought some prestige to the United States title for a quick minute. Go ahead, Sam.
No.
Oh, okay. I thought you were about to say something.
That was his way of saying, I'm sorry I turned the U.S. title into a spinner belt.
Honestly, that was his way of saying, oh, I only got 5 moves. Okay, let me educate you on something.
Yeah, because because a lot of those matches, those open challenges were good matches.
Man, he could work, man. I mean, he could work.
But I mean, and a lot of people don't realize that him and Samoa Joe came out of the same effing class.
Yeah.
And so John is not just entertainer. He is a methodical wrestler.
Yeah.
People don't give him credit for that. He is a wrestler, psychology-wise. And you can pick any time in the WWE with John Cena, and I could probably show you where he was being methodical.
He was even doing that as the prototype in OVW. You go back and some of his old promos, you're like, my God, why didn't we get this on national television?
His favorite one that he did is where he did the rewind.
Yeah. That was like, that's perfect. How come we didn't want this? But I understand, you know, they want a fresh face and stuff.
Furthermore, if John Cena didn't have that feud with Roman Reigns when he did, would we have gotten the tribal chief?
Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
Because he humbled him.
Yeah.
He talked right in front of him. He taught him how to take it to the next level. And again, some people are blessed with it. Some people are not. John, and just look at this feud with Cody. You can say whatever you want. The match was shit, but I still hadn't watched the last SmackDown. I'm planning on going to watch it because of what I've heard. him do. And I loved everything he was doing. My problem was what Cody was doing. He wasn't giving you all happy, and then you get in front of a person that nut shot at you, and you supposed to be in a few, and you all happy. That's what ticked me off about the build-up.
But but that built right into the match and how he ended up losing.
Right.
About it, right?
Yes,
the whole feud is being based this way, where Cody's, now he's gone away. I would love him to come back as a heel, because, like, this is now where you would potentially change him and flip him, because you know what, this Mr. Nice Guy shit isn't working from a story perspective.
Right. No, and that's the thing. Just a quick say about Cody. People been wanted Cody to be a heel. Cody doesn't want to, but if he goes to that level again, there's no telling what he could do.
His best work in AEW was as a heel.
Say Ring of Honor. His Ring of Honor heel.
Oh man,
God,
Japan, everywhere he went, he was a heel,
and it worked better than the face.
Yeah,
you know what?
And it just kind of I just look main event of WrestleMania, and okay, I'm old. Me, I'm not too hip on Travis Scott per se. I don't know too much about the fella, but respect to him. He's earned his way. He's there, right? I mean, people obviously like him. I'm in no place to shit on this guy, but dude, come on, man! You sauntering down the ramp, moving so. I don't even care The Rock was there, but just the way they did the finish, it was just so, like, considering what Cody went through last year. Come on, this is how, it's like the company threw him under the bus. It felt like, to a certain extent, or they were just playing the story that way just because Cody couldn't grow a pair.
Honestly, when we talk about Travis Scott, why didn't they just have Travis Scott right in the front row and just had him jump the barricade just to help Cena win? That would have made a hell of a lot more sense to me, because it makes sense that he was there. I can argue that, because he was there for Cena's heel turn. I can argue that fact, but how they presented him coming out to, I didn't like it.
Come out with Cena.
Yeah, well, he could have Cena. He could have been sitting there, ringside. Surprising. That's what it was. The shock factor wasn't there.
I mean, it took him 3 minutes to walk down.
Yeah, so that took away from the shock factor. Like, oh my God, Travis Scott interfered. Then but we got. Here comes Travis.
Go ahead.
Isn't it amazing that Raw was better than both nights of WrestleMania?
Yeah.
SmackDown better with the TLC match.
Oh my God.
That should have been on Mania. That's a fumble.
And that's what they said. And honestly, I think they did it for a reason. I honestly think they put it on SmackDown because they knew it was going to be tremendous, and they wanted to try to get the ratings on SmackDown versus WrestleMania, which honestly was the better call. And the reason I say that is because it got people talking, and now next SmackDown, you're going to get that high rating because people are going to want to see, oh shit, that was great. So what do they have in store for us?
Well, that's what they're hoping for, Bear. I mean, I'm not to go against you or anything, but this is the problem with AEW as well. Some of the craziest shit happens and no one's ever watching, and then people don't actually come back. Unfortunately, we live in what, most people don't remember what they had for dinner last night. Society.
Still called out here, Sam.
No, I'm in there too. I forget as well. Like, okay, I'm a wrestling guy. I do analysis of wrestling. So for me, I should be watching AEW after seeing that spot with the nails and everything. But you know what? I just, even I forget to go, oh shit, I got to see what happens next. You know what I mean? Like, I'm more invested in NXT.
Yeah. Real quick, just to bounce back off the WrestleMania match. I think the thing that annoyed me about the whole thing is that The Rock wasn't in it. Like, you did all this build up, you did all this cutting your throat and taking Cody's soul just for Cena to turn heel and then be like, yeah, y'all, I'm not gonna be at WrestleMania.
So I was reading something earlier on that, and The Rock is currently filming a Martin Scorsese, which one of the best directors ever. I know people are overrated. Now, if you believe that, you can go somewhere and be with the trolls of wrestling. But
Who said that? What?
the reason that he didn't show up is the last time he did something like this in the middle of shooting a film, he ended up getting injured.
Hercules.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So they were like, so Martin Scorsese, I can't blame him if he pulled that. Like, hey, last time you left in the middle of a shoot to go wrestle, you got injured. I don't delay my films. We're not going to let you do that.
Yeah.
That's just hypothesizing. I don't know if that's true.
Well,
we also. Sorry, Bear.
I was gonna say it does lead into him talking on the what's the show with Bully Ray?
Pat McAfee.
Well, was it Matt?
It was McAfee or is ESPN?
Oh, you talking about Busted Open?
Yeah, Busted Open. Well,
or Busted Open, yeah.
It was one show he was talking about it, and he told them right up that he was not going to be available for WrestleMania. They wanted him to do that to help the ratings because the ticket sales wasn't good for Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, it was Ari's call.
Right. So, okay, if you knew this going in, there could have been so many different ways that they could have cleared it up before WrestleMania, but they chose not to. So I don't blame The Rock on that. And when we was watching that, I kept telling my partner Blade, I was like, man, Rock ain't gonna show. And then when something happened, I said, it's Travis Scott. Rock ain't coming. Everybody's hyped up about it, but I already know he's not. And you got this story out here. You made everybody waiting for it, and you didn't fulfill it. That's why a lot of people more shitted on the match than the match not being great. That was the reason. And the thing is, has his viewpoints and setting things up. Well, Rock came in and threw it off. So he had to clean it up. Not saying that they are feuding or anything, but that's what it was. So now he didn't want to put too much energy into that because he's like, I had my plans. I wanted to go this way. Okay, well, we're still gonna go this way. We're just gonna throw this in. And it's not that he even gives a shit about it, because if he did, Travis Scott would have been on Raw to come up with something why The Rock wasn't there. Or Cena would have said something, but they just didn't care. So they went on to do whatever their story now. He got back to it, which, of course, knew it was Randy because it's his hometown.
Right. But, I mean, we can go back. What I was saying, dang it, I forgot what I was going to say, but you talk about Randy. Honestly, Randy surprising John was a bigger highlight. WWE, that's what we're talking about, was a bigger highlight than, Travis Scott coming out. But people saying the match wasn't good, I'm sorry. That was a classic wrestling match. I thoroughly enjoyed the Cena and Cody match. I hated the finish, but the match itself was very slow. It was very methodical. It was classic professional wrestling. And
I agree with you completely, Joe. That was the match, right? Like it was just the ending that killed it.
Yeah, it's like a great movie, anticlimactic.
Well,
perfect.
Well, now not only that, it was it's false advertising, because who was the big star? It wasn't Rock. It wasn't Cena. It wasn't Travis Scott. It was The Rock, because everybody wanted to know why. And now we don't have the answers. And now we're pissed. And now we want to blame everybody and everything. It is what it is.
I
guarantee WWE has a history of doing this. So
too many in a row.
Guaranteeing you will have an answer at SummerSlam. That's the next biggest.
You know what? I can honestly tell you the story is this, man. He is the CEO or the head of the board of directors. Nice. I would love to watch that.
I don't know
You know,
about that now.
because of his position that he has in the company on the board of directors, he came out and he tried to show his authority. Then he left. That's the way I'm looking at the story because John Cena explained himself. With every week that he was on the air, he presented himself better and better, and the character became better and better and stronger, right up to that final promo on SmackDown. Right. Secondly, the way he fought that match, the match, like I said, I loved it for the fact of his psychology that we've talked about that John Cena possesses, the way he was able to completely change his moveset, right? And people are also shitting on John Cena because of the way he won the title, right?
Right.
As a heel. Well, you know what? Ric Flair, I think all 16 of his ended the same way in some form or fashion.
Right.
Damn near.
So
Pretty
16 and 1
much.
isn't bad,
Right.
right? So
Yeah.
that's all I'm going to say.
Right. Well, as far as the kind viewer who is trying to give me a challenge, take her to Hell in a Cell match, sorry, not going to happen. I don't want to die. But I hate to say this, but I think Paul Heyman's outshining people again with this new faction he's got going on.
Oh yeah.
Of course.
Over the Rock and Cena's got going. You
Yeah.
might forget it. The new Dangerous Alliance is what the fans is calling it, and God Almighty, you got Rollins, you got Braun Breaker. I'm gonna go ahead and call it now. Maybe he'll get Becky. I don't know, but I think he needs a fresh face. And honestly, I wouldn't mind Carmelo in that group.
And that was about to be my next question. We were just about to talk about that.
Sorry, didn't mean to jump the gun.
Hey, it's all good. It's
Great
all
minds think alike.
Yes,
right,
sir.
right. Hey, yeah, because it was. I mean, because we knew that Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman, you thought it was just gonna be them two, but then after Raw last week, when Braun Breaker came out and speared Roman, and it was just like, okay, I'm kind of feeling this, and then you saw Becky turn heel at the earlier in the show last week.
Poor Rue.
Like, okay, could we see the first Paul Heyman girl? Could we see? Everybody kept saying the Dangerous Alliance. I like it. I think it's so many twists and turns with this story because you already know that this is still linked to the bloodline. Roman's going to be involved in this somehow. But I like the trio. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's something different for Paul Heyman. He's been with Roman for like the last 5-6 years now, so he get to do something fresh. Seth Rollins, it kind of like he went back to that Messiah role when he had Buddy Matthews and AOP with him.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. I like it. It's gonna be interesting to see like where they go with this. It seems like Seth is probably gonna feud with Sammy before he, make a run at a title or anything. And Braun might go after Roman. But where's CM Punk, in this whole story. So Sam, what you think?
Okay, I'm gonna say it straight up. So wrestling, my beloved soap opera, I love you so much to death. But we have watched every story in some shape or form, and no different here. This is, in my opinion, Evolution 2.0.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this is the way I'm looking at it. You got Paul Heyman in the role of Ric Flair. He's got that swagger back again. That Brock Lesnar swagger that we haven't seen in a while. It's like Seth Rollins gave him his spine again. So I almost feel like it's a good thing that Heyman left the tribal chief because he always had the hunchback.
Yeah.
So I like it. You got Braun Breaker in there, and we've talked about this in this roundtable. We probably talked about it individually on our shows. We need to elevate the new talent. The new generation needs to emerge. I agree. Braun Breaker is one of those guys. He is the future, right? Who I would like to see join this group because I think there's 1 to 2 more people to join, right? Austin Theory.
Oh,
It's funny enough you say that, and the only reason I'm gonna say that
Theory, Braun, Seth, and this is great for Seth because being in a group like this, like Triple H, gave his career another 5 to 6 years because he doesn't have to do all the heavy lifting now.
Exactly.
Right. So this is a brilliant move for a guy who's not in the twilight, who's not going part-time yet, but he can still manage the full-time schedule. Respect to Seth, man. The guy, in my opinion, is what he says he is. He has reinvented himself again. Right? He's given himself more, and he's the only guy that's there every week. I don't care what anybody says.
I agree.
Right? So for him, this is great. This is amazing. So I'm really looking forward to where these guys go. I think what we're probably going to get announced probably next week, we'll probably get CM Punk and Roman up against Braun and Seth in a tag team match, because Sammy's kind of out of the picture right now. But remember, Sammy's OG bloodline. The world champion on Raw is OG bloodline. The man that they alienated was the leader of the OG bloodline. So Seth is, I think Seth, Jay for the title at SummerSlam.
I can see that.
And that's how they're going to start to get those guys. Roman will bring his people back together again. See, it's a multifaceted story. If we think about it, we talked about this, right? Cody's promo the year before. You're going to lose everything. Now we're looking at it completely stripped. Yeah, he's got his Ulafala, but, whatever. He's got nothing else except that.
Yeah.
Now you're going to see that story intertwined with this, and good versus evil will accumulate at the Survivor Series War Games.
Ooh.
I just wrote the story for the next 5 months, boys.
Funny you bring up the Ulafala, especially, just a gimmick now, because, heck, an orange-faced leader has an Ulafala now, for crying out loud.
Don't remind me.
Well, hey, I'm not a political guy, but we just had our federal election, and the party that everyone was crying and clamoring about, and leave, we don't want you here.
One.
That's
okay.
You can thank the orange guy for that one.
Well, I don't know, man. I mean, we the leader, our prime minister stepped down, so the new guy who took over. I don't know, man. Anyways, I'm not. Anyway.
The new world order. Anyways,
the worst part is
that's Agent Orange for you.
No. Who knows, dude? Who knows? I guess this is a really Agent Orange group, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the few fellas that are blue in red states. You're rocking the blue too, man. That reminds me of the Mariners. I really want that shirt, dude.
This
yeah. It totally reminds me of the Mariners.
Yeah, this is my blue and yellow wrestling from
like
the 1-3 shirt. Yeah,
I
based these colors off my high school Murray Wright class of 99.
You got the Cubs blue, so I'm happy.
Yeah, so I had to give me a hat made too. I had to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah. No, but overall, I think the group, it's great. I love the direction right after Raw. It was amazing, right? And to start it off with this new faction, I like it. The Bloodline story is officially over now. It's done. But Roman's story is still intertwined with everyone's story.
Oh, yeah.
So,
now, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Professor Bear.
Two things. One, yes, it's definitely going to be CM Punk and Roman Reigns versus Seth and Braun. They've already announced it from the website of where they're having it. So that's definitely going down.
In St. Louis, okay.
Yeah. So
damn stadium.
I will say everything is a reason. As Triple H said a long time ago, just because something hadn't ended doesn't mean it's the end. It's a pause on it. And I couldn't have said any better, Sat, that everything has connection. And while Roman is not going to be there weekly, you got to have some fodder, and that's just Sami Zayn. Because if you notice, Sami kept looking at Jay crazy when he was celebrating with him.
Yeah.
Right? So that put something in the mind. Then on top of that, the crazy part is, okay, Dom won the Intercontinental title. I could say most of us wanted that. But it's like what we thought to ourselves, what is Braun going to do now? how is he going to jump into a main event first? And bam, he's just great storytelling again, because he knew that Seth knew, well, I'm pissing both of these guys off. I'm taking their toy, so I got to have protection too. Let me bring in the hard hitter, which is beautiful. And the wrapping of the them reminding us of Triple H group, as I like to call them, the modern day Four Horsemen.
Yeah.
Fair play.
But again, I saw online that they were talking about Austin Theory being in that group. I've seen a couple of places, and I've heard, now of course you can hear 1,000 things, but I heard Becky is almost guaranteed to be in the group, to be the first Paul Heyman woman on TV. And I think it will work great. Plus, what is she going to do? She's about to elevate the Intercontinental Women's title that we've been asking for.
Mm-hmm.
So all of this is just great. Again, great storytelling. It was the end. WrestleMania was the end. And it started off the night after WrestleMania begins new. You get to see all these new stories. And they're going slow with it, which is perfect.
It gives life to Becky too. Or it gives life to Bailey as well.
Exactly.
She's automatically included in this story now.
Yeah. Exactly. She took Bailey out. So hey, once she runs through Lyra, because if you call yourself a wrestling purist that knows wrestling, you know Lyra's about to drop that damn title.
Oh yeah.
And it makes it better that Becky and Bailey goes at it, because it's more, they're established star. Hey, this title is something now. And that's a great thing. So Raw is doing tremendous things. SmackDown is too. This was the Raw. WrestleMania was disappointing, but the reset is great.
Yeah, it's great. Now, back to Lyra, if I may, very quickly. Indications of her that she still needs to learn. When Becky turned on her, she was just sitting up against the ropes. So she wasn't hurt, she wasn't phased, she wasn't dazed. She just let Becky come right at her and beat her up. Like, at least put her hands up or something. Like, make me believe. Like, at least have your head down that you're still hurt or something. But she did none of that. It just, I don't know if you guys caught that. Maybe go back and take a look at it. But that's what I saw. I'm just like, come on, Lyra, you're better than this, right? Like, as good as she's in the ring, she needs to work on those mannerisms.
Definitely.
That took away from the heel change for me personally, because she's just like sitting there, like she's just laying there on the rope, waiting for her to come and beat her up again. With no retaliation, making eye contact too. You don't make eye contact.
Right.
The psychology wasn't there.
Exactly. But it's funny though, because this with the tag title, I called every bit of it. I said, okay, Becky's coming back. They're going to win the title. That person told me, no, why would they win? They got to defend on NXT. I was like they can't win it on the night after Raw. That's what they're going to do. Then Becky going to be pissed and take it out on Lyra. She's going to take the Intercontinental title from her. That's great for Becky. She doesn't have to carry the load. She can make the women, the Intercontinental title mean something. Everything that's happened with the women, I've been able to call out. And it's sad because it's like, thank you for trying, but damn, stop being this obvious with it. Just like I tell you another spoiler that is crazy to me. You know, Tiffany Stratton is about to lose her title.
You think
she's about to lose it back to Nia? I remember, I'm telling y'all this. The main reason why she got that title was her and Flair. That didn't go over as well as they thought. they're going to give Nia her a better run than she had the first time. That's why they brought her out the situation, let her chill. Now she's going to come back, win the title. Watch.
Well, fair enough. You know, I'm not going to doubt you because I'll be honest, I did pretty good on night 1, but night 2, man, I think I went 1 for everything. The only match I got right, and that's kind of cool though, because that means they got me, right? They never get me, but they got me. Like, I mean, I'm sorry to use this analogy, but I felt like Eddie Hearns, who's a boxing promoter. He had this thing where his promotion was going up against another promotion 5-on-5, and I felt like Eddie Hearns, man. Like at the end of the night, like all his guys lost, right? I'm just like, fuck. The only thing I got right was Cena.
Joe, what's your thoughts?
On which part? Sorry.
Just the whole the trio of Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman.
You know, I think the trio is about to become probably one of the best factions in professional wrestling history. That's just me. I know you all said Evolution. I'm going to say yes and no. It's probably going to be a mixture of Evolution and the Dangerous Alliance. I think Paul Heyman's finally going to get the faction that he's always wanted. And he hasn't really had said faction since, I don't know, WCW in the early 90s.
Yeah, Austin.
So take a look at that. Well, we'll use the Dangerous Alliance as an example too. Look at Steve Austin. Look how much wonders it did for him. I know Rick Rude was already established, but look what it did for him. Look what it did for Medusa. Look what it did for Larry Zbyszko. Look what it did for Arn Anderson, who was a former Horseman, but look what it did for him. I mean, come on. You have established wrestlers, and you also have up-and-comers, which I can kind of see elements of Evolution with that as well. What I think would make it work, and I would have to agree with you all, get you maybe one more established wrestler. The rest you need to have the next generation.
Yeah, and I think, you know, this is where if this match goes down at Backlash, that's where the next guy will emerge.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, like the whole thing, I really hate saying this because I really like Solo, but that whole thing, that well's running dry quick.
Yeah.
I love what Jacob, because Jacob he's a beast. Come on.
Yeah.
And I don't want to make that man mad. So
look, Solo's descent was bound to happen as soon as this bloodline stuff started to fade, just because of the way he is.
And when he started wearing that weak ass suit, looking like the Weeknd.
Right. There you go. Right. And then bringing, you know, I think he stole it from Tony D'Angelo. You know,
he was looking like a fake Weeknd, the weekday.
There you go. There you go. There you go. But ultimately, this is why they were holding off. This is why they were holding off on bringing in Jacob.
Yeah.
Right. This guy was dropping already, but now he's really dropping without a parachute, man. So I don't know what they're gonna do with him. I don't know. Maybe he becomes a good guy and becomes with Roman again. Maybe that's his only. I'm just saying. I mean, what else can you do with him? I don't know what you're gonna do with him much longer.
I'm gonna say this with Jacob Fatu going into 2026.
That dude's the future.
He needs to be the favorite for the Royal Rumble.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna leave it there.
But as far as what you do with Solo, honestly, I don't think he's that bad of a manager. Give him a managerial position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
That or do 2.0, like make him learn how to dance and find 2 white boys that can dance and call it.
You wrong for that. You wrong for that.
Too cool 2K25.
I'm trying to think who could that be? Who could that be?
All right, y'all. This
Grayson Waller and Austin Theory ain't doing anything right now.
Well, here's the way I look at it. I have a feeling Grayson Waller, Theory's going to turn on him, and this is how I feel he's going to enter this group. He's going to turn on Grayson. Because, again, if you look at that story, how many times has Grayson thrown him in front of the fire?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's about time to
These are the quiet little things that you got to pick up on, right? To see where we're going with this. And I feel this is going to backfire on him eventually here. He's already on Raw. They're both on Raw.
Yeah.
Right? You
They
turn on
ain't doing
Grayson.
anything.
You turn on Grayson. I think Grayson would be a fun heel. Here's the one thing we talked about on our show today. There's no. It seems wrestling's just become too serious. Where's the entertainment? I like that comedy stuff. The only guy they got doing it is R-Truth. Who on Raw is giving us any comedy?
Mm,
We need more of the comedy, right?
I got one.
We need
I got one. This is my prediction.
Yeah.
At the end of the year, when Cena drops the world title, it's going to be to R-Truth.
Oh wow,
Man, that'd be hilarious.
but did you see them backstage though?
Exactly. That's
Right?
why he said he'd do anything for him.
Yeah.
I predicted. That's going to be my prediction. That
You know what? That would be apropos because just the way he's just like, I mean, he's the grandpa of the crew, man. But
exactly. Let him have a world title
why
reign.
not? That's what he's doing.
Hell, I wouldn't even care. Even if you do a Kane, give him 1 day reign. I'm okay. I want to see R-Truth with the title.
Dude, I want to see him do it. And then you got the New Year's Day 1 show and have Braun Breaker spear him and win it.
Exactly. Anything.
like 10 seconds or something, yeah. But I mean, let's look at R-Truth. I mean, for crying out loud, this man's the first African American NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Look at that. That's an achievement within itself.
Yeah.
But more comedy. I mean, I think we all played 2K25, maybe except for Samp. Because
yeah, dude, you know what? I like I said about my PlayStation, I turned it on, and unfortunately, I forgot it takes 20 minutes just to do all the updates. So by the time that all finished, I had to go and tend to some other stuff, so I turned it off.
well, spoilers. I'll give some.
Bro, I haven't turned it on yet.
So 2K25 in my rise, they have this little time machine gimmick. I'm like, what the heck? Because they can definitely pull that crap off on TV now. But why can't we have some of this comedy stuff they have in our or storylines for crying out loud with this whole mutiny thing? we need something like that in wrestling. I feel like wrestling video games have always had probably better storylines than what was going on in real life.
Yeah. Hey, because that mutiny storyline in that My Rise is pretty good. How they got all the NXT stars coming together or whatever. And it's supposed to kind of be NWO like or whatever.
Forget you guys, man. I'm gonna buy that shit tonight.
Oh, they came out with a new patch, but you're good. New patch.
I was gonna say, well, at least you ain't bought it. I bought it. It's still wrapped up, sitting on my PlayStation.
Brother, I got 2K19, 18, still in a cellophane wrapper.
Wow.
I had 17 in the wrapper, and then one of my friends' son came over, and he just had to play it, so I let him open it.
Fair enough. And I didn't keep them because I wanted to see if they're worth anything. I just got married.
No, I get that.
and then I had a kid. And then I started Samp and Chance.
That'll do it, man. That'll do it.
No, I'm not complaining. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I mean, the day will come when I'll have 4 hours to myself, and then I'll play.
Yeah, that 4 hours is going to go by quick, especially if you go on the My Faction and the World Tour. You might as well kiss those 4 hours goodbye.
To be honest, man, I'm just actually waiting for GTA 6. That's what I'm waiting for.
All right, y'all.
We'll go on a hiatus after that for a couple of weeks.
Let's get into this next topic. So last week we saw the returns of Aleister Black and Rusev. And so far, their first night, it looked pretty good. But what do you think the future holds for Rusev and Aleister Black? Now, it looked like Rusev, if you saw his promo yesterday, kind of going back, he's gonna keep the Redeemer gimmick that he had at AEW, but it don't seem like he gonna mention that he's the Redeemer. And I like that Aleister Black came back with his regular entrance, his music and everything. But what do y'all think about their second run? Like, do you think it's gonna be a good run, or do you think it's gonna be sort of kind of like how it was on their first run? So I'll start with you, Joe.
I think Rusev, the guy's dropped a bunch of weight, gained a lot. Looks like $1 million freaking bucks now. If you need somebody to drop for Dom to drop the Intercontinental title to, there you go, right there. That guy needs it. He's a former United States champion as it is. Why not? By the way, where the heck's CJ Perry? Dang it, I was looking for her, but
he wasn't
I
resigned.
heard that
He didn't sign her.
I heard that she signed a Legends contract, but they didn't say if she was going to be his manager going forward.
Well, dadgummit, we need her back. Just saying. Anyways, that could just, never mind. We ain't getting into that. But as far as Aleister Black, I mean, when he came out to that music, and you heard like the little voiceovers before the music starts, I'm like, this is what I loved. He tried doing this with the House of Black, and I don't know if Tony Khan just didn't get it or the booking or what was going on, but with Triple H, because Triple H has said that was one of his low-key favorite characters, and look what he did with that character in NXT.
Yeah.
So if we get another run like that, like he had in NXT, leave him as a singles wrestler. Do not do House of Black 2.0 for one. For two, get that man needs either a feud with Jacob Fought 2, keep him as a heel, because you can imagine those mind games they can have. And just both of their styles, that mixed martial arts style that Aleister has, and kind of the same with Jacob.
Yeah.
My God, that right there is a SummerSlam match in the making. Forget this, throw Solo over to, A-Town Down Under or whoever you want to throw him with. I don't care at this point. But put him on commentary. God, make him be a Taz. But have Jacob go up against Black by SummerSlam. If not, it would be crazy not to do that. I wouldn't do it like immediately. Let Aleister get more familiar. I know the WWE universe, whatever. The fans of WWE are not used to him. Some are, some aren't. Let the fans get used to that character. But have him eventually go up against Jacob Fought 2. Or, hey, the Wyatt Six has been MIA. Have him do something with them. But that's my take. They got to do something with both of these guys. They 100% deserve the redemption, because minus Rusev Day, because Rusev Day got over more than we probably should have. Yeah. But a certain McMahon didn't believe in either one of them, and well, that's
there you go. Yeah.
But now that Mr. Levesque is in there, I would love to see what we get out of him.
Definitely. What's your thoughts, Professor Bear?
Let me start off by saying I love both guys. I'm probably one of the few people who actually like what they did in AEW, even though they never gave us enough of it. Sadly enough, I think only one is going to be able to move up to that top tier, and the other one is going to be just mid-card. And honestly, I hate this to even come in my mouth, but Rusev will not be a world champ. I don't think he will. I think he should, but I don't think they will. He will get to that level. Black, he will, but it's not going to be as fast as we would like it to be. I thought it was actually super awesome. Not only that Black re-debuted, but they gave his wife the United States Championship. Yeah. I thought that was cool. I thought their execution sucked, but I was glad she won. I like both guys, but I hope that we don't get what we had in AEW is oversaturation of people. TNA got some hitters that are definitely going to be coming up, and you don't want to have too many people to be sitting there and doing nothing. And they have a hard time kind of building up the mid card to make it relevant. Now, hopefully Triple H can make a liar out of me. I'm hoping and praying he can, but it had to be something extra special for Rusev to get a title. Love Rusev, but I just don't see them putting the energy into him. I just don't.
That's what's up. What you think, Sam? What's your
You know,
thought?
a lot of what Professor Bear, I have to say, a great mind think alike, Professor. You know, I was going to say the same thing. Alistair debuting, his wife winning. You know, that's you know, something to pick up on. Maybe something not right now, but you know, but you're right. I think Rusev, in my opinion, I was excited to see him come back. You know, I was excited to hear him talk. I heard his promo, and right afterwards, I thought to myself, "There's nothing different about him. There's nothing that I am interested in seeing from him in terms of, you know, what's new, what have you done after being away for 5 years, right?" And I think he's going to end up getting lost in the shuffle once the shininess wears off. But Alistair coming just back the way he was, and I always say that particular round of cuts, that was the biggest mistake of getting rid of him.
Yeah.
Right now, in terms of him joining the Wyatt sick or anything, I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's Alexa Bliss's domain. Once, you know, I think they're going to make her the leader. You know,
with them, I wouldn't say join them. I would say feud with them.
yeah. Well, I think she's going to join them. She's going to take it over.
Well, I was talking about Black, like Alistair, have him feud with the White Six. That's why I was.
You know, fair enough. Oh, why? Yeah, I guess so. But then, you know, by himself. That's the thing, right? Like, I mean, he needs to have something behind him as well to kind of do that, I would feel. But I mean, and again, because he's only been there, we haven't even heard him talk, right? So we got 2 episodes of Rusev already, and we only have the one to go off of until this Friday. Hopefully he comes back. But everything I saw from Alistair, I perked up. I was excited.
Oh,
But
he's
I tell you, I wasn't excited the same way. I was excited, but not the same way when Rusev came out because it just looked the same.
Alistair gets to murder Miz on Friday show.
Yeah, he's going up against the Miz.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, versus Miz.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, who knows, man? Let's see where they go with both these guys. A lot of the guys that they brought back have all been re-released. Majority of them. AOP came, gone. Right? Paul Ehrling, same thing. You know, just the list goes on. All the guys that Daddy sent away and Junior brought back, most of them have left again, have been let go again.
Yeah.
So, you know, say what you want about the big man, but he knows what he's doing. Right? So when it comes to this. So let's see. I think Alistair is that one guy. He's a Bray Wyatt kind of quality kind of guy that coming back a second time around, he could definitely elevate himself to be up there somewhere. I don't know if it's Universal title, but definitely world title.
Yeah, world. Yeah, I could see him. I could see him wearing that belt too. I hope that Rusev could get an Intercontinental title run. Maybe by like SummerSlam or something like that. Because I definitely want to see Dominic with his run with the Intercontinental title. And of course, we know somewhere in that run, Finn Balor's probably gonna turn on him and they're gonna have a feud. But if I was like Rusev, just have a nice little run where you just beat people, just kind of elevate yourself, and when that time comes, get that IC title.
I think Finn becomes the face out of that.
Yeah.
Out of that. Oh, definitely, because I can also watch what happened on Raw again. If you guys haven't seen it, the interaction with JD.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, all these little details, these little, you know, things that are emerging. I almost feel like JD's going to turn on him and they're going to kick him out.
Yeah. But I mean, after what are they going to do with JD? That's always been my question. Because no offense to him, I know he's a good wrestler, but we talked about who can be a comedy person on Raw. Honestly, I think Dom could definitely pull that off.
Yeah, Carlito's trying.
Yeah.
Trying, but I think Dom has more. I hate comparing him to Eddie, but he had that.
Yeah, he does.
You know,
Any idea of Liv's movie?
to what?
Any idea, or do you guys have any inside info on what Liv's movie is?
No, I know that.
Apparently, it's really big, unless they're trying to swerve us or something. But
No, I was about to say, I definitely heard she's actually is going to do a real movie. I don't know what it is.
I keep thinking Joker's girlfriend. I don't know what's her name.
Harley Quinn.
Yeah, she just something
she
like
do
I don't
got
know
that look.
why.
She do got that look. Yeah.
Mikey's like, yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, boys, let's wrap it up. I got to go.
But no, I mean seriously, he's got that Eddie Guerrero-esque, vibe to him and that charisma. Let him use that. I know a lot of people want him to stay heel, but look at the reception he got when he won that title at Mania. That was probably the biggest moment of Mania right there.
Everyone else has had the benefit that's come up to the main roster, especially now if you think about it. Everyone complains, oh, Triple H hasn't made any stars. Well, look, 90% of Mania was all NXT.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, F you to everyone. Thank you. But ultimately, man.
Yeah, because I think Dom can definitely carry the Intercontinental title till SummerSlam.
Sorry, that was my point. Yeah. Dom has grown up in front of us.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't get the benefit of NXT.
Yeah. Like he had, look who his dad was. Look who his godfather basically was. Look at all the people.
Family.
Well, I mean, look at his first match
sister.
on WWE. Seth freaking Rollins.
Yeah.
If that's not a hell of a teacher to have your first match with.
Yeah.
Where Dom started in the COVID era, or the Thunderdome era, where he is today, we've basically watched the kid grow up.
Yeah.
Right?
Honestly,
me and Bear got the privilege of watching him when he was a little boy.
Yeah.
In real time.
Then that little boy has a figure, which is weird. But
yeah.
But I mean, look, a lot of people, whenever he was doing going with the Judgment Day, where they were like, yeah, but will this work? Will this? And it's all thanks to Rhea Ripley. I think she had a huge hand on making Dominic on what he is now. But I think he's finally got the courage, and he's like, you know what? I think I can handle this on my own. And I would love to see him have a real. I mean, he has probably one of the best themes in wrestling right now. He has the charisma. He has the athletic ability. For crying out loud, he's doing live tours. I seen that guy do Corbin, Kentucky, him at a live show there, and him have match of the night. So that just tells you he's a grinder and he's a worker. He definitely deserves an Intercontinental title. Could I possibly see him with a world title or WWE title?
Yep.
Yeah, in about probably another 5 years or so.
He's completed more matches than everyone else on that roster, house shows and everything included. That man has done. He's a workhorse. People don't see that.
That's the one thing about. I know they always talk about you got to be independent to grow. Not necessarily. There are some people who grow from independence. Then there's some homegrown talent that gets it, that put in the work as much as indie wrestlers do. And again, some systems are better for some than others. And Dom, let me tell you something. Dom got one of the prettiest damn frog splashes.
Yes.
Yeah.
He has worked his ass off. And think about this. He was with his dad. Him and his dad was able to win tag goals together. Something that I know was a big thing for both of them. Then they became father and son to hold the Intercontinental Championship. And there's only one other team, father-son duo that I can think of that did it.
Curtis Axel and Mr. Perfect.
Yeah. Do you guys? I almost have a feeling. I don't know if it's this WrestleMania or within the next two WrestleManias, you're gonna get Ray versus Dom one more time, and this is where Ray gives him the mask.
I think that'd be Ray's retirement match. I have
right, and Ray gives him the mask. So, do you think Dom becomes a true luchador at that point? Then
I
No.
think he's staying with what he's built.
okay.
He's built so and I forgot. Let me not forget. Yeet, him and his father were Intercontinental champion.
Oh, yep, that is right. That is right. I hate saying this. I forget his little Intercontinental Championship run.
I mean, yeah, because I think it was a 3-week run.
I think it was like 3 weeks. Yeah.
It was like 2
Him
weeks.
and his son both had 3 weeks.
I am like father, like son.
But hell, they got more runs than I have at the Intercontinental Champion. So who am I?
World heavyweight titles. So let's just say that he didn't do it for The Rock to get that either. So
Well, Braun's won more titles than his uncles combined.
I don't know.
Well, not tag team wise. I'm talking singles.
Well, look at Scott.
Scott was a U.S. champ.
Well,
Yeah.
I think Rick Steiner might have been the U.S. champ.
He was the television.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, I'll take that back.
But I'll say this on Scott Steiner. I know we're probably getting way off track here, but Scott Steiner, I believe, is one of the most underrated WCW heavyweight champions. I'll say that right now.
Honestly, man, that guy could have the potential to do everything. He just did too much snow at that time in his life, man.
Yeah.
But honestly, he was the only thing good in like the late 2000s going to 2001. The Roid Rage Steiner. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
Want to mess with that guy.
And who was that girl that he had with him?
WWE.
Malaysia.
What was her name?
Right, something like that.
Yes.
Malaysia, I think.
Malaysia, I think that would have, yeah.
Was it like a knockoff to like Ice-T's Coco?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you guys remember when he came out with the Tiger?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, they were pissed.
Man,
And
WCW was trying anything.
And then we can say the same thing in his TNA run. He had a pretty good run in TNA, especially over in Ring Ka-King, where he literally would chase after the crowd and they would spread like the Red Sea.
Oh, yeah. And then when he was in the Main Event Mafia.
Yep.
Him and Booker, Jesus.
Well,
One of the greatest moments of wrestling history. Booker beating up somebody and announcing it. Oh, Black Snow kicking him in the grill. Oh, he's hitting him.
Speaking of which, Booker T, I love everything about him, but man, I don't know how many years I'm going to give him worst commentator of the year award. Is there a record for that? Like, I love it, but dude, right now, yeah, like I can't handle it, man. Like, I watch NXT with no volume.
I will have to say he does
Over accentuation, too much.
He helps Trick Williams's entrance.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
No, I appreciate that, but just stop, man. Like, just stop talking, Booker, please.
Yeah, but other than that, he be sounding like that perverted uncle that be at the
Exactly. Yeah. He's the one like he's got the phone. You're showing him the clip.
Be like, I ain't seen you in like 5 years. You didn't group up. He that uncle. Yeah.
He's that dirty uncle at the reception. Dirty uncle at the reception.
He's Uncle. Hey, if you guys watch Medea, he's Uncle Joe, except for the. He's about there. Yeah. He's about there.
Look. Now look, we got to stop this because somebody's gonna tell him about it, and he's gonna be dogging all four of us.
Good. We get him on the show and talk.
If he's watching this, I want to know what the heck kind of an accent were you pulling in TNA? What region is that from, my friend? If you can tell me, please let me know.
I think it was just an evolution of King Booker.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
I thought he was off of Faconda or something. I don't know. Fake Faconda is what I'm getting at there. But come on,
is inner Nigerian.
Samp said it, not me.
I'll say it. I said it. I'm okay.
All right,
I can't beat him in a fight, but I can beat him in some words. I can go low.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Even GI bro.
Right.
GI bro. I love that. Oh yeah, I forgot about GI bro.
Hey, what I love about Booker, and like you said, he oversaturates certain things. But what I love about Booker and his announcement, he tells it like it is. Now, he'll tell certain aspects of the wrestling that a lot of people don't really look at, but they don't take him too serious because of all the jokes and stuff. But Booker is a hell of an announcer. If he wanted to be a straight man, he could do it, but he just likes to be funny.
Look, man, when he's not elongating his words, I enjoy what he says. It's just when
I
he
mean, it'd be deep. I mean, like he even talked about Trick Williams before Trick really hit that stride. He was saying, "Oh, he just needs to get his stuff and start being serious." Now, him singing along with the song did help, but he was right. And man, look at where Trick's at now. I mean, about the. So I know this is your show, but I do want to ask this question.
Oh, go ahead.
TNA had their pay-per-view on Sunday. Trick Williams showed up at the end and took out Joe Hendry. Do we see Trick Williams winning the TNA World title?
That would be nice.
You know what? The more I'm thinking of Trick right now, because he's kind of at that place where he's kind of ready to leave NXT and do something else.
Yeah.
Maybe he's the next guy on that team, Heyman team.
Ooh.
I think
Carmelo back together for that.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe. But Trick would be perfect.
Honestly, I think he is going to be the first wrestler from NXT to win a title in TNA. Because he, like you said, Sam, he's about ready to come up, but he's missing something. And this will be a perfect thing for them to throw him into that he would succeed at, I think, and give him a little more seasoning before he goes up.
Possibly, yeah, but I think he'd be kind of perfect guy, man. I mean, you look at that group right there: Braun, Trick, Seth, and maybe if you really want to throw him in there, man, there's a put Theory in there as well, man. You got the Atlantic connection.
Yeah. It makes sense. I definitely could see him in TNA winning a World Heavyweight Championship, because I think if he got called up, I think he would be caught in the mix, especially in that mid-card mix. Yeah. And I think after the buzz of him being on the main roster is there for a couple of weeks, he'll probably just slide right on out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think him going to TNA and kind of getting that exposure, a little bit of like
a different style.
Yeah. I think it'll be good for him. I definitely agree.
Sure, I agree. And I think Joe Hendry by the end of this year is going to be on the main roster as well. So
yeah,
it's inevitable, right? Like John Cena is super high on the guy.
Yes, he is.
And they said Randy he handpicked
Joe
Hendry to be his opponent.
Yeah, exactly.
And he had a heck of a reception at Mania. From outsider.
Yeah.
God.
Not just WrestleMania, Royal Rumble too.
Yeah, and the craziest thing is I remember Joe Hendry when he was in Ring of Honor before Ring of Honor got bought by Tony Khan. And I could not stand that damn song. I couldn't. And now it's just so infectious. It's not that I dislike it or even like it. It's just infectious. And that's the same thing with the Yeet. It's just infectious. Everybody wants to do it. But I personally can't stand it. But I catch myself and want to slap myself around a little bit.
What we need is
I do it like I'm about to say I do it like Rhea Ripley does it, because she's a little something with her. She's like,
oh yeah.
That woman can do no wrong in my eyes.
Right?
All right, y'all. We got one last topic, and I don't think Professor Bear is gonna like this one, but I just want to talk about this one because I just want to hear his thoughts. So yesterday there was a video that went around with Eric Bischoff with Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan. So they did this NWO like video or whatever. So apparently it looked like they supposed to be coming out with a podcast and they supposed to be having a third man. So
may I be the first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Now I want to get a good shot. Mr. Bischoff, Hulk Hogan, if y'all do a podcast, oh please, somebody give them my video of every time I talk about Hogan. Because I would not take it back. These are my true feelings. And I would love for you to come on any of our platforms and me and you have a debate.
Oh, Jesus.
Now, what I can't tell you, I can't debate you on how much of an icon you are, because true enough, you are an icon. If it wasn't for you, for a lot of things you did for this business, we wouldn't be here today. I would never debate you on that. But the one thing I will debate you on of how much of an asshole you've been since the 80s. Bobby Heenan was saying this because he had to play a role and get the heat that you were crook, ass, all that. I believe it. And I can eloquently tell you this on a podcast. So if either you could come on one of our shows because, hey, we have great content, or I'd be even lovely, you could invite me so you could have control of the stuff. And if I say something, you can block it, mute it, whatever. But I would love to have a debate with you and tell you what I truly think of you, Terry Hulk Hogan Bollea.
Hey, well said, Professor Bear. Samp, did you want to go? Well, you got any thoughts on?
I mean, we live in a world of podcasts. We're all podcasters ourselves. So just throw this another one into the mix. Third man, Conrad Thompson. Who else? I mean, who else could it be? I mean, I don't know what to expect from it. What are you going to do? I think 83 weeks is basically that podcast anyways. So what's Hogan going to do? Honestly. Well, I mean, if anything, if I was Hogan, I'd just stay quiet now because most of what you're saying is being refuted by other legends, right? Your stories, they're tall tales. I don't know,
Let me explain you something real quick. Now, Hulk Hogan is the version of the Orange Man. He continues to lie, continues to say what he did and he didn't do because he's full of shit. And that's what he loves to do. Now, there's a lot of people who actually like him, and that's fine if you like him, love him, whatever. My biggest thing is you sit and claim so much stuff, then you claim it on dead people that cannot speak for themselves. Then you be so disrespectful and so arrogant that because you were here, I hate to tell you, you ain't there. You ain't been there for a long damn time. And again, I can tell you so lovely in a debate. I would love to tell you, we can't do it face to face because obvious reason, but we could get on here and talk, and I can do everything you say. I can prove with facts that you're full of shit.
No, this has to be face to face now. I can't watch it any other way.
But I would do it face to face because one thing about it, as big as Hogan is and everything, Hogan is hurt like me. I've never been an athlete, but you know what? I think I could slap shit out of him at least once.
The only thing I'd ever say that I complained about Hogan growing up was, okay, why the leg drop as your finisher when you always talked about the 24-inch pythons? Like what it just makes that one move, because of that, his legs are gone now. By dropping that continuously.
Well, yes, it is pro wrestling. but there is a limit of lies that wrestlers can tell. And Hogan's been over here since 1984. I think that's when he went over and stayed over.
Mhm.
But anyway, I don't want people to think that my whole hatred and everything is Hogan, because it's not. But he's an ass.
Yeah. Well said. Joe, you got any thoughts?
I will say this because you gentlemen are already going to be on there. Tune in Friday to the No Sell Roundtable. We're going to be talking about Hogan the whole freaking time. So tune in Friday. You'll get my answer. Jesus, Bear, can you not save it to Friday?
Well, I can't be there Friday. Unfortunately,
So,
I
never
am.
mind.
I'll be traveling, but you never know. I might make a video. Who knows?
Oh, good Lord. You did that on purpose, Mike. You got him started. Now he's going to go on. This is like Flair is his favorite wrestler. Once you get him started, he ain't going to stop.
But apparently it's not a podcast, guys. Apparently it's something else.
Yeah.
It's like a wrestling company that they're going to try to come up with.
No, it ain't wrestling.
I hope not.
Vince and Taker are in Saudi right now, so I don't know.
They already killed WCW. They killed TNA.
Tried to.
Tried to. Then Hogan, wasn't he part of another promotion, XPW or X something? Yeah, that didn't go well. So
and then I've said that it ain't a promotion, but hell, he's over in Saudi. Man, they got money to burn, so who knows? It might be.
Vince has got money to burn too, man.
Yeah, so maybe they will start something, but I can tell you this, I won't cover it.
Again, Vince has spent more money on Mistress than he spent on WCW.
That's true. He got that whole library for pennies. I think it was like $60,000. He got the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right? Between 15, 60 grand. That's all he paid.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, Vince McMahon has done a lot of things for wrestling, but that's the only thing I want to give him credit on. And
no, look, when we talk about these guys, it's like in all sports, right? I mean, for example,
fellas, can y'all hear me? All right.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah.
Fellas, I appreciate y'all coming on.
Thank you.
It's always good to have our roundtable episodes. Starting with you, Joe. Anything you want to plug? Any shout outs?
Yes, actually. I know I said I was going to do the history of Miss Elizabeth. It's going to be out tomorrow. I got to delay it an extra day, so it's going to come out Thursday on the YouTube channel, so be on the lookout for that. Friday night, you can catch Mike D and Samp back on the No Sell Roundtable. We're going to be talking about, Bear's favorite wrestler, Hulk Hogan, and discuss his life and career and not the disgusting Real American beer, but join us Friday. We're going to have a great time. I heard there may be a Wizards duel. I don't know what's happening there, but CZ's kind of mad at Rob, so we're going to figure that out. Also, Mike, I don't know if you brought it up or not, but I want to go ahead and promote this. July 12th, 2025 at the Center for Rural Development in Somerset, Kentucky. The brand new Commonwealth Professional Wrestling Legacy Hall of Fame. That is going to be the very first show. And I am proud to say that Professor Bear is one of the inductees. It's going to be a great time. I can't spoil anything else right now, but we do have something pretty big lined up for you, the wrestling fans. And tickets will be announced here pretty soon. I actually want to go there tomorrow and see about that.
Joe, if Hogan shows up, I'm going to leg drop him.
No, we're not going to do that. We're going to be professional, and the people who's going to be inducted is going to be dressed to the nines. So let's just.
So, Professor, if you are there and Hogan is there, just think of me as that little dude on your shoulder saying, yeah.
No. You're in Kentucky. I need to remind you of that.
No, you don't have to worry. My wife will.
But yeah, a lot of big things coming. So just be on the look stuff. Sorry, Mike, didn't take that much time, but
it's cool. It's cool.
Busy is what I am.
Sweet, sweet. Professor Bear, you got any plugs, any shout outs?
Yes, as always, thank you all the wrestling fans for supporting us, for following us, to let us do what we love to do, and that's talk about wrestling. The next few weeks on the Bears Thought, I'm gonna have a bunch of guests starting tomorrow. I'm going to start trying to give back the love to the people that showed me love when I first started. So check out tomorrow's episode. And like I said, thank everybody for letting me do what I love to do. That's talk about wrestling. Thank you for supporting my friends. Thank you for supporting pro wrestling, because without that, who knows where any of us would be.
Word.
Definitely. Samp, got any plugs? Any shout
Yeah, Samp and Chance, baby. We're on YouTube, 6,100 right now. We're growing just like everyone else, so that's an awesome accomplishment there for us. We're a little different than everyone else here. We do boxing as well, so we divide our time equally between the two great sweet sciences, as I like to call them. Crazy episode coming up this Thursday of boxing. We got Times Squares. We got Saturday Night Canelo, and then we got a New Wave fighting on Sunday. So it's 3 crazy nights of boxing. Make sure to check out that show on Thursday as we break down it all. This week on our Tuesday show, we talked about the aftermath of WrestleMania. We talked about the potential story of The Rock and Triple H having beef. So we touch on that a little bit as well. So yeah, we're just grinding away. We're making content. We're trying to do things to make everyone happy. Thank you to all the fans. Thank you, Mike D, for facilitating this again. Joe Monroe, your song's coming, brother. And Professor, when the council wants to see me, I'm ready for my appearance.
Sweet. So want to give my do my little plugs and stuff. First of all, Wrestling from the 313, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. You say who?
Don't forget Spotify now too.
Oh, Spotify. Also catch us on the WSN network.
Yes, sir.
Which is on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon. Did I miss one?
No, you right on it.
Okay, cool.
Professor, do you have an app?
Yes, we have an app.
You don't know about the app?
I went into my app store. I could not see it there. So maybe send me
a
link.
Look, okay, it is listed under WSN.
Yeah.
And once you pull it up, you'll see a picture of Brady in a cowboy hat. You'll see me. I think you'll see all of us, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But the app is great. You can see all types of history on there. Different podcasts. We got cartoons, wrestling cartoons.
Yeah. And also go to the Wrestling Society Network website. Go to the podcast room. It's a bunch of podcasts on there. You will see Joe Monroe.
All of
it in Canada.
Bears Thoughts. Sam, you on there too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Samp and Chance podcast.
Yeah.
Wrestling from the 313. It's a lot of podcasts for you to check out. And check out Wrestling Society Network, Wrestling from the 313, Samp and Chance, Bears Thoughts, Joe Monroe. This is the Roundtable. This is Mike D from Wrestling from the 313, and we are out.
Awesome. Peace. So hey, very quickly, we don't get your app in Canada.
You should.
Dude, I typed in WSN and it only gave me 2 apps to choose from.
Okay, I know it is because we got people in Canada that watch it.
Okay.
We'll
figure it out.
Yeah, all right.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike.
Oh, no problem. Peace, y'all.